I want to jump straight in with Jude Bellingham. He was probably one of the kind of biggest talking points from this market value update. His market value has dropped down to 140 million euro from 160 million euros. It's his second consecutive market value drop, Toby. And do you want to maybe just explain to people the reasoning behind that, what's going on with Jude Bellingham at Real Madrid, and I guess why he's maybe having a season to forget?
Yeah, with Jude Bellingham, you have to see the whole situation around him. When he came to Real Madrid, he was like the main player, scoring a lot of goals from attacking midfield, winning the UCL in the first real season, having the Euros after that, where he played a big part in it. And now, in the last month, he struggled a lot with the injuries with his shoulder, for example, who stopped him performing very well. But as we know, he's still a superstar, but his market value dropped in our opinion, because he's not on the level he had like 2 years ago. And yeah, we will see how he comes back from his injury. He's now out with a hamstring injury, so it will be exciting to see also which role he can take at England for the World Cup, because now we have seen that the likes like Morgan Rogers, for example, breaks through in the last month. So his spot is not that clear in the team as it was at the Euros. So it will be exciting times around the corner soon.
That's exactly why I wanted to have you on the show today, because you can kind of draw those kind of links to players in other leagues. And as you said, Morgan Rogers is a good comparison to Bellingham at this moment in time. Manu, you wrote the article for us on La Liga. You spoke to Tobias Blaseo, who was our market value coordinator in Spain. When Bellingham left Dortmund, he was kind of seen as one of the best players in the world. He's seen as this world beater. Everyone said, yeah, Real Madrid makes perfect sense. But as Toby just said there, you know, the shines maybe come off a little bit, but also within the context of Real Madrid itself, you've got guys like Valverde, you've got Arda Güler, some other players as well. Perhaps even you could round that all up into like that attacking lineup, which has obviously had to shift to accommodate Kylian Mbappé this season as well. Do we think maybe the kind of spotlights came off Bellingham a little bit, as well as maybe his performances, but also he's no longer seen as the kind of exciting new thing at Real Madrid?
Yeah, maybe. I think, you know, you could really tell already last season, towards the tail end of last season, right, that the performances were dropping off. Even in his first year, we were both at Wembley, right, when he won the Champions League with Real Madrid. And even then, you could just kind of already tell it was dropping a little bit, his performances from where he started. He had a red hot start at Real Madrid, was playing as a striker even at times and scoring a lot of goals. And it feels like he's never really was able to preserve those kind of performances long term at the club. You know, the deep impact player that he was at the very start, he is no longer. And it's really been like all of last year. Kylian Mbappé arrives last year, right? And Real Madrid don't have a good season at all. This year has been tumultuous again, with Xabi Alonso arriving and then being replaced by Abiola. And throughout that, you know, Bellingham was brought in from Borussia Dortmund at a significantly high fee to be a difference maker and an impact player. And I really get the sense, having written this market value update, but also the couple before that, and speaking to Tobias Blaseo, that there's a real sense of kind of disappointment that he wasn't able to kind of maintain the high performance level he came within long term. And as a result, there is a significant drop of status at Real Madrid, as Blaseo called it. And I think that is really the thing that we need to emphasize here with Bellingham is, yes, his market value dropped from 160 million euros to 140 million euros. That's still really high. You know, that is still makes him one of the most valuable players on the planet. So we're talking about, I don't want to make it sound like this is a funeral or, you know, this is a guy who's going to drop off and no longer be a megastar. He still is, but I think he set Bellingham's big problem is, and I mean, Toby, you can give you 50 cents on this, but I get the sense his problem is that he set the benchmark so high at the start at Real Madrid that he has a really hard time kind of meeting that expectation now.
Yeah, I totally agree. As I said, his first season was near to perfect with scoring that many goals and also important goals in the Clásicos and everything like that, winning the Champions League, for example. So yeah, that's maybe the problem of all the big players. They come from such high standards that's really difficult to maintain, yeah, these performances and also the status. So you have always be near to perfect to stay at that level. And we've seen also now in other leagues like the Premier League, for example, a lot of superstars, like I would say, have some problems this year. So we go also from maybe from Words to Palmer to Bukayo Saka. I think we are not in a season where superstars are making the real difference. It's more like a team based performance in general. So maybe also we will see a better Bellingham next season, maybe, or really at the World Cup. But yeah, it's difficult to stay at this level when you got such a big or such a good start at Real Madrid like him.
Yeah, he's, as we said, there's still plenty of time for him to bounce back. You'll have the end of the season where I'm sure he'll still be challenging for trophies. And of course, as you said, Toby, the World Cup.